Hello. I love the Wavefinder on the Tonverk's latest update, and I want to show off how incredibly diverse it is and how even using the same couple wavetables, you can do so much with it. So I'm gonna show off sets of using the same wavetable to show you different things that you can make even using the same ones without thinking of the fact that you could have hundreds of different wavetables for infinite possibilities. Let's get into it, and I hope you enjoy this. Okay, so what I did was have two sets of the same wavetables and then two bonus rounds with random samples. And so track 1, 2, and 3, I have using the exact same two wavetables each, but set up in different ways so that they sound like completely different tracks. So let's just show you the first set. So nice, slow, melodic arpeggio, I guess, but it's not set to arpeggio. Just with some nice atmosphere. And the second track we have. Cool little heavy bass. And then the third, got some dub chords. So all three of those are using the exact same two wavetables. And by the way, all of the wavetables that I use in this are from the factory pack that comes with the update. So I'll just kind of go through the wavetables and show you what I got here. So this one, the melodic one here. First of all, I'll show you without effects. So I have some delay, chorus, and reverb. So without the send effects, that's it. But then I also have it going through a phase 98 for some nice phasing. So that's without that. And then the I also have a comb filter with very slight movement with blend halfway. So without the comb filter, this is the bass sound with no effects. Bring it back. Lovely. So I have two. I mean, I guess showing you the exact wave tables doesn't really matter. I probably will, but like I'm not going to really obsess too much over which wave tables. It's just to show you that with any selection of wave tables, that's just like your starting point, and then you can do so much with it to really end up anywhere. So like this has a animation which just makes it shoot up and then slowly go back down to the starting position, because I have the motion set pretty slow. So like you could hear it if I set it to that. That is like a constant kind of movement. Or if I speed it up. So that's what's going on there. And the second wave is wait, what's going on here? So 9, okay. So the first wave is just like a sine wave that turns into a saw wave, sine to saw. I was showing off the second one there first, actually. I'm not used to the memorized page, so now sometimes I go back and I forget that it's not the first page. I'm not sure yet if I like that option or not. But yeah, not too much, no filtering at all, actually, and then just a little bit of amplitude to soften the start and make it tail on a bit. And then I have some LFO movement. So I have one LFO moving oscillator 1's position, and another one changing the speed of LFO 1 so that it has a kind of a nice movement. So I'll show you what that sounds like. I'll get rid of LFO 1. And now it's just a constant pulsing. And without that, there's no movement at all, really, besides the basic movement set in the animation. Anyways, that's enough of that. And on to the second one. So, this is the same two waves, 9 and 10 I have selected there. And yeah, so obviously this is a bit lower, so it's played on a lower octave, but also the second wave is tuned down 1 octave. And I have some movement animation on the second. Oops. Still on track 1. But even when I play in the same octave, this is the same octave as the last track. So, that already sounds pretty beefy by itself. But, yeah. Wavetable 1 has a random animation going to the position, but it's not moving very much. You see it's just moving a little bit. So it's at like -7 or something like that. So it just adds like kind of almost like an analog flavor where it's just kind of like there's instability to it. And it's tuned down 2 octaves. What am I looking at? Oh, you know what? I'm crazy. When I was looking before, I was on this one. I was saying that it's tuned down 1 octave, and I was looking at the other tracks still. So yeah, this one, the first one is just tuned down 2 octave, which tunes both things down, because on the first page, it's tuning the whole thing, whereas on the second page, it would just tune that one. And then, yeah, the second page also has a random animation, but it's animating it a lot further, but very slowly. So you can see it's just moving very, very slowly. I move it manually. Okay, there's lots of nice sweet spots and textures in this, which is what made me know that I wanted to animate it. And I have just one LFO, and it's on the effects. So I'll show you without the effects like last time. So I got reverb and some chorus. Still sounds good, but the chorus adds a lot of thickness. And then I have the dirt shaper, adding drive and noise, and that's what is being modulated. I have the high pass filter. I have it going like that every time. So that's pretty nice. And then this, I don't have anything turned on here, but I just have it set because it sounds really fun to play with the bit crusher on this. modulation. Pretty nice. Again, no filter on this one, and not even anything on the amp page at all. So yeah, and I'm gonna try to speed this up a little bit, but let's be done with that, and then dub chords. So no movement here on the position, but the second page has animation on the level for the second wave. Again, these are the same two waves as the other ones. And this one has a large amount of movement, so it's maximum movement. It's moving it all the way through the wave with the quick ramp down animation, and also the level. So that's why it cuts off like that. And I had it on chords when I was recording. Yeah, so pretty simple. This one is just like very light for texture, kind of. So if I turn it up, you'll hear it's a lot more noticeable if it's turned up, but then when I just kind of put it blended into the sound, then it just adds like a nice background texture to it. And yeah, what else? Just making sure everything's recording at this crucial stage. Yeah, this is yeah, that's enough of that. I have a filter animation on this, so a pretty simple shape for pluckiness with positive envelope and some resonance. You can hear how it sounds very different without the filter, but that's dub chords, you need the filter. Nothing on the amp envelope, but some overdrive just to kind of bring it up a bit. And then the key for the dub chords here is the daisy delay, which has the nice off rhythm, rapid back and forth delay, filtered down. So without that, oops, just sounds like some pluck stuff, which is still, you know, nice, but not what we're going for. And I also have a little bit of frequency, what is this called? Frequency warper. Very, very small amount, so I just have like 2 on frequency warper and then some sidebands, so I'll turn that off. Barely even notice it. But it just adds some like movement in the stereo field. Because if it was maxed out, this is what it would sound like. Which if you have headphones, you can definitely hear it moving around. And yeah, reverb, chorus, typical. Cool. And let's move on to the next set. So I have 4, 5, and 6 are again using the same 2 wavetables, but different than the first 3. So these 3 are sharing a set. So I'll show you quickly all of them again. And 5th. Really like this one. 6. Pretty neat. So back to 4. Some kind of like harsh atmospheric shrill type stuff here. I think it sounds really neat. Lots of movement. And that is because there is a lot of movement, random movement on this with the position and the level. Sounds pretty cool, played low too. I think I played it an octave up here. And yeah, so the two wavetables in this set, I have one called Loaf and the other called Engines. And again, it's the same three for all three of these, and they're from the factory library from Elektron's pack. And yeah, so wavetable 1, there's no there's very little movement in position here, just up to 3 with a sawtooth animation, so you can see it just moving a little bit. Do I have any? Okay, so that's why, 'cause it seemed like it was moving more. I do have a LFO on oscillator 1's position, so it's doing the bulk of the movement. Let's turn it off. Here, let's actually turn it off wavetable 2 so you can hear more clearly what's happening. So without it, it sounds like that. I'm going to turn up this random LFO for the oscillator 1's position when it's set to hold, so every note it'll play in a different spot. Just adds a lot of variety to the sound. It's really nice. And I'll do the usual effects thing. So I got chorus, delay, and reverb. This is a atmospheric thing, so obviously it needs those. Otherwise it's pretty harsh. Nothing in effects 1. I have no other effects, just the sends. I have some overdrive, and then the amp envelope is set to smooth it out into a pad type thing. And then on the filter page, I have a bandpass filter with a little bit of movement on it with the envelope. And that's pretty much that. And that's good enough for that one. Let's go on to the next. I wasn't seeing it move. Remember to select my tracks. So this has the arpeggio on. Nothing's set up in the arpeggio page. I just have it turned on to default, and I just programmed a little basic 2-page ARP. And yeah, so what we got here? We have number 2 here, so I'll turn down the first one. This is just wavetable 2, so it's tuned down 4 octaves. So it's all for like character, noise, and texture. It sounds really cool. And it has some animation here, and then yeah, I guess that's it for the animation. So let's turn this back up. Sounds really cool. Not any animation here? No, there's literally nothing on this. I just picked a position in the wavetable, but you can hear how many different spots there are. Lots of things that would sound nice. So the cool thing about Wavetables is like some of them, like they generally sound terrible when you just listen to them before doing anything or blending it with anything else. But then as soon as it's mixed in with other stuff, then you start hearing like the true potential of it. Slowly scrubbing through Wavetables is a good idea because the sweet spots are very tiny, and you'll be surprised how many you find. So I just have a little bit of a filter here with a little bit of a envelope, sure. There's actually this base width filter has a lot of the key here, so I have a LFO that is moving it a lot, and that's why you hear this wave go. So I'll turn it off. And you still hear a wave, but that's actually a different thing of the filter of the bit rate reduction is being moved as well. So without bit rate, I just noticed it sounded pretty cool waving it in and out, so I animated it with an LFO. Neat. That's pretty much it. Whatever, there's some stuff on the amp page. Blah, blah, blah. Next, we will go to the bass. So this cheeky little slappy thing. It's pretty fun. We just got it playing down some octaves, sure. And then I have the, it's tuned down an octave for the whole thing. This is what it sounds like in the bass octave. Okay, so it's down 2 octaves. And what do I got going on here? I got nothing again on the first. I just picked a spot. And then the second one has animation that starts at one point and then stays at its destination for the rest of it. So if I change the animation shape, it greatly changes the sound. So that's what's going on there. It's a fast speed so that it just like blends in and sounds like a slap. Got very deep filter here with I'm programmed into the sequence some P-locks. Oops. You hear some quieter ones where I just P-lock the envelope depth lower. And that sounds pretty nice. And some basic envelope stuff, blah blah. And then I got a dirt shaper, which boosts it a lot, but also adds noise and overdrive, and then a little bit of a low pass filter just to get rid of some of the harshness. No second effect, and no chorus delay or reverb. No LFOs this time, so quite a simple sound, but it sounds pretty cool to me. I mean, it's kind of like retro sounding, you know, but it's just, I had fun making it. And now, so these last two are not using the same samples, but I just wanted to make 2 tracks that are using a sample other than a wavetable. So I just have 2 examples of things that you can do if you just put like any sample into the wavetable machine. So what do we got here? atmosphere galore. Have this going in the background. Add in some drums and like a main melody over top of it. You got yourself a cool melodic track. So what we doing here? I'll just show you this in a box, and then I'll show you the next one last. So we got I'm using the All Waves thing from the Elektron pack, which is just it goes through all the different wave shapes, saw, triangle, square, and sine. That was the last one. And then I added in the second one is a this is a let's see. Yeah, so this is from the Voltage Chaos pack by Catenation. I'll add the info in the description there. And then I used from her Gnarl pack. There's just something in here. I can't. This browser doesn't let you just like play a whole sound, I think. Like if I do function. Oh, it does. Okay, so let me see then. Okay. So that insanely awesome sample is what I have in here. And, oh my lord, I'm still figuring out this interface. And it's just animated with a random sample and hold that moves through the entire thing, and also it's animated with levels so that it's not always consistently loud. And then this just does a basic animation through the shape. And that's actually using... Why am I doing that? Whatever. I'm apparently animating the position with an LFO instead of... What was the reason for that? I don't remember the reason for that, but... Oh, because I'm moving the animate position level amount instead of just the position. Anyways, you know what? When you make a bunch of stuff in the morning, sometimes you forget why you did it. But it sounds cool, doesn't it? No filter stuff. No amp stuff. And then I got reverb and delay. Of course, you need atmosphere, you need atmosphere. And then I got one effect, and it is again the frequency warper. Without it, sounds like that. Not too different, but just a little bit of that. So the frequency warper, I kind of avoided for a long time, but it's because it's a very strong effect. But if you just put tiny amounts and just tweak it slowly, like this has 7, this has 2, the sideband one you can play with a little bit more, and then blend it in, don't put it fully, then you can get some really cool like movement areas with it, just for stereo stuff. And that's enough. That's enough of that. Very cool. And then the last one. As you can hear, a vocal sample. And we're using, what are we using here? I'm using an HS Square from the, again, Elektron official pack. And then this is a sample from a vocal sample package that I bought, I think from Ghost, whatever, Ghost something? Anyways, their popular sample thing. And yeah, I threw that in, I pitched it until it sounded right, because any samples that you put into this that aren't formatted the way that Elektron says in the manual, look up the manual if you need to know the exact length and whatever, are going to sound different, because it's going to change the length of it and stuff. It's going to change the pitch, so you're going to have to tune it to be where you want, because like if I didn't, then like by default it's like very high and harsh, which also is cool, but I wanted it to sound similar to the voice. Pretty creepy if you go low. Come on, that's just creepy. I love it. So this has a bunch of stuff going on. No LFOs, but I have a filter folder. With some distortion and stuff. Which, you know, adds a lot to everything. And then a very slow comb filter blended in. And then obviously reverb and chorus. So yeah, using stuff like vocal samples is very fun. You can use literally anything in here. What does these sound like together? Let's see. Oh, that's pretty cool actually. Seeing as they were made entirely in isolation. What about this? Oh damn, come on. I don't have any free tracks for drums, otherwise I might have accidentally made a song here. Let's get crazy. Nope, too much. Anyways, that's that. I hope that this shows you some of the cool stuff you can do with the Wavefinder engine. It's awesome. I love it. Go out there and make some cool stuff.